So the reigning world champ is here, Cam Heyward of the Pittsburgh Steelers.
I don't know about reigning.
Reigning world champ, defending world champ, unbeaten world champ, the king. And, man, it's so great to have you on the show. As you know, in less than 2 minutes, I told you my life story about Pittsburgh.
Right.
Does that give me that gives me, like, I'm in the fraternity.
Oh, yeah,
here we go. Here we go.
Yes, sir.
I'm a season ticket holder. I went to all 6 Steelers Super Bowls.
Yes.
I even said to you that I thought the Bills game was fixed by the refs with the crappy call on Jack.
Your bingo card is there.
And now this one I haven't said to you. I even knew that you said you were going to keep playing because you don't like playing on one leg. It's true.
Very true.
How brutal was that for you? Because you have always been like a horse and played through everything. Yeah. And then basically you played cripple.
Yeah. You get bruises and,
You get a lot more than that.
Yeah, and I've been used to that. But, the groin injury was definitely different. And, trying to run was a problem. And then trying to play football was even bigger problem. And trying to play defensive line was a problem in itself. So
you want to keep going healthy with 2 legs.
I want to keep going healthy. It was kind of weird talking about it right after the season because there's a lot there. And, you're caught up in your emotions, but I want to keep playing football. I want to play at a high level, and I don't want to be, injured when I'm out there. It's not fair to the team. It's not fair to me, but I think I'm very capable of.
So I was at, and I told this story before on the show, but not with you sitting here. I was at Indianapolis on the Monday night game last year when you beat the Colts.
Mm-hmm.
It was a Monday night football game, and I went to that one because I can't go on Sundays because I'm on the TV.
Yeah.
And I went, you know what? I'm gonna fly to Indianapolis and I'm gonna go to the Steeler game at Lucas Oil. So I stayed in your hotel.
Yeah.
And you were coming down the escalator to get on the bus to go over, and my son was with me, who's a fanatic Steeler fan. He goes to San Diego State. He's a freshman in college. And you were coming down the escalator, and you saw us standing there waiting for you like dorks, like fan dorks. And you looked at us like... And then I said, listen, Cam, can I just get a picture with my son? You're like, hurry up. And you did it, and you were super cool to my son. And I thought that was badass of you because you had no reason in the world to stop and be cool because you were getting on the bus to go play a football game and you had business at hand. But you were still cool enough and fly enough just to be dope enough to be nice to a kid that just adores you.
Well,
and
I apologize for even saying hurry up.
You're like, hurry up.
I get locked in.
You were locked in.
And so that's my fault. I get locked in. But.
So how about this? At the restaurant in that hotel, Mason was eating a burger by himself, and I said to my son, that's Mason. You want his autograph? And he goes, no. What a mistake. He would come back to lead the Steelers almost to glory.
Yeah.
That's your boy.
Oh, Mason, he came through in the clutch last year, We didn't know what was going to happen, but Mason was prepared for the moment. And you look at the season he had, and at the end of the season, he's done really well for himself. And, hopefully we can bring him back, but you never know.
Do you think it sucks for Kenny Touchdown that he wakes up every day and someone says something bad about him or that he's going to get traded or they're going to bring in someone else, and that he's been, 3 years? I've always believed it's kind of a 5-year plan. This is the NFL. This is no joke.
Yeah.
The guys don't just walk off of the college football field and suddenly they're Dan Marino.
Yeah.
Okay, it takes time to develop. This is the NFL. This is ridiculous how hard it is. And people have, in my view, given him a raw deal, short end of the stick with he needs time to be great. He needs time to develop. He needs time to get in sync with his receivers. And let's face it, the offense sucked for a while, and he was involved in all that, and then people just gave up on him. That's what I think.
Yeah, it's tough. The scrutiny already for quarterbacks, it's insane because you'll get guys that have never played talking about how a quarterback should be this.
They don't know what they're talking about.
And then, if they're not Pat Mahomes as soon as they step on the field, you're inconsistent. You're not the guy. But I think there is growth. For me personally, I didn't play my first 2 years. So I started after our 5th game in my 3rd season. We were in London, and I got an opportunity to start because we started 0-4.
Right.
And so I had to go through a growth in my progression. I don't think we award people the growth in our league enough. I think there's time to keep improving. And, I think Kenny can be a heck of a quarterback in this league. And for people to write him off right now, I think is...
Elway.
Yeah.
He never got it done. And then in the end, he got it done twice. Peyton Manning kept losing to Brady, and then he finally got one, right? I think it takes time. You know what I want to ask you about? When I see the size of that kid Jones, Jesus. I mean, honestly, he is so enormous that when I see him blocking on the right side, I'm like, I remember back in the day they used to flip it to Franco and he'd roll outside. They give it to McCaffrey. He goes outside the numbers.
Yeah.
The Steelers run between the tackles like crazy with Harris and Warren. There's a lot of guard between the guards, between the tackles, and not sweeping outside. When you saw the size of that kid, now I know you've been a pro for a long time, so you're you've seen it all.
Yeah.
But when you saw the size, I'd be like, why are we run behind him?
Yeah, I think it's not just the size with him. It's the athletic ability he shows. He's rangy, and he's able to get to the second level really quick.
And he's nasty.
Yeah.
He's got a temper.
I love his demeanor.
Right, he wants to, no one's giving him any flack.
Well, he lets people know about it, and he's not quiet about it. And I think at the offensive tackle position, you got to be that way, and especially in the offensive line. He's going to be a guy that you circle around and say, hey, this is the type of guy that's going to lead our group in the future.
How has this, does this turn you on or off? Do you find this painful, going to the Super Bowl and doing 7 million interviews? Has anyone else told you that they're a lifelong season ticket holder Steeler fan and that they're hardcore and they took pictures with you with their son or that they went to every Super Bowl? Has anyone in here really been a legitimate, hardcore, here we go, like I am? Or are they all candy ass? They're candy ass.
There's some out there.
They're candy.
But we have really good faithfuls. You even got guys like Max Starks over there. You look at that, and the Steeler fans are out there. It's painful because we're not in the Super Bowl, and I think it would be way better if we are.
And I hope the Niners lose so that they don't get a 6th Lombardi. And the Cowboys. I hope they lose every year so they never get it.
The goal is not to stay at 6, though. The goal is to get to 7, right?
You need 10.
You need 10, but you got to start with getting 1.
You need to pass the Patriots, and you're the leader of this cause. You're the leader of the team. You need to take them to 7 and 8.
I own it.
When Art said...
Not 7 and 8 record. We need to go...
No, 7 and 8 Super Bowl titles.
Yes.
So when Art the second, and I knew his grandpa and his brother...
Yeah.
And now him, when he said we need to win playoff games, we're like, duh.
Yeah.
The Steelers go to the playoffs and win.
Yeah.
And I'm still mad about Buffalo. I blame that guy right there. You see him? You want to say anything bad to him? That guy right there, blame him.
I don't blame him. I blame us. We should have got the job done. You got to own it.
If they don't call that penalty, they don't go down to the 25. The next play they score, and then you had scored in the second half. You go down tied up. We got an overtime epic wild card game.
I know, but I don't like saying one play determines a game.
I do say one play determined the game. I refuse to admit that it wasn't one play. I hate that ref, and I hope his daughter moves out of the house and never comes home.
Oh, man, that is hurtful.
Do you like living in Pittsburgh?
I do. My kids are growing up, and they're enjoying Pittsburgh very well.
How many years now?
Have I been in Pittsburgh?
Yeah, with Steelers.
13.
Jesus, 13 years. 14, 15?
That's what I want.
2 straight Super Bowls, baby.
I love that.
Listen, I love you. I appreciate you coming on, and I hope you stay healthy.
Yes, sir.
And, that what you went through is frustrating, so I hope you don't have to go through that again. I hope next year you're clean and healthy and banging, and you guys rip off a ton of wins and get it done. It's a great pleasure to meet you.
Yes,
I'm a fan. Keep doing your thing. Thanks for all you've done for the NFL and the Steelers, my man, and I appreciate you coming on Ferrall Coast to Coast.
Appreciate you having me, Mr.
You're a badass. Hey, Coffee, take a picture now. It's your only chance. Carver, I said you can't take pictures in the middle of the show. Throw it to Carver. Carver, take over.